Donald Trump squashed rumors that Nikki Haley would be his VP choice over the weekend. In a post to Truth Social, Trump said, "Nikki Haley is not under consideration for the VP slot, but I wish her well." This begs the question, who are the front runners to be Trump's running mate in November? According to Politico, 6 contenders are starting to make a case for themselves. Let's take a quick look at all 6. Number 1, J.D. Vance. The 39-year-old junior senator from Ohio is listed as a potential running mate for Trump, and for the life of me, I can't figure out why. He can boast being a veteran, hailing from a key swing state like Ohio, and bringing some youth to the ticket when compared to Trump's age of 77. But for me, Vance doesn't pass the eye test. First, he lacks national recognition and political experience. If Trump picked him as his running mate, it would go over like a turd in the punch bowl. Vance strikes me as a generic, uninspired pick. If Trump wants to win in November, he's got to shake things up more. Number 2, Tom Cotton. Senator Tom Cotton from Arkansas is in much the same category as Vance, in my opinion. He's a junior senator, although he has more experience than Vance, an Army veteran, and a Harvard-educated lawyer. No doubt, Cotton has an impressive resume. What he doesn't have is the ability to add sizzle to the steak. Tom Cotton doesn't have a wealth of political experience, influence, or pizzazz. The person Trump adds to the ticket needs to bring something to the table the campaign can sell. In my estimation, an unknown, generic white guy isn't gonna cut it. Number 3, Doug Burgum. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum is not just a no, it's a no way in hell, and I'll tell you why. Burgum is one of these successful businessman turned politician late in life types. He made his fortune when he sold his software company to Microsoft for $1.1 billion in 2001. Like Vance and Cotton, he's a national unknown. Like Trump, he's a wealthy executive. This coupling would be totally redundant. Burgum brings nothing of value to the ticket. He offers no counterbalance to Trump because of their similarities. Not to mention he comes from a state, North Dakota, that will play no major role in getting Trump elected. Burgum is definitely not in the picture for a running mate, if you ask me. Now that we have the safe choices out of the way, let's look at the 3 interesting ones. Number 4, Mark Rubio. Florida Senator Mark Rubio brings a lot of potential upside to the Trump ticket. Coming from a state with its 29 electoral votes, Florida is crucial for Trump to win in 2024. Marco Rubio can ensure Trump holds the Sunshine State in November. Rubio can also help by connecting with Latino voters and authentically speaking on immigration issues, being the son of Cuban immigrants. Finally, Marco Rubio has put in some time in Washington as the senior senator from Florida elected to 3 terms. He's not a Washington power broker, but he's had time to develop some contacts that could be valuable as the VP. That's a check, check, check in my book, and makes a strong case for the short list of potential running mates. Number 5, Tim Scott. Let's deal with the elephant in the room. Tim Scott is a black man. Whether you like race and politics or not, it's a calculated part of the game. Tim Scott being black only helps his potential as a running mate to Trump in 2024. Trump's numbers among black voters are low compared to Biden and the Democrats. If he wants to try and raise those, it makes sense to consider a black running mate. Senator Scott from South Carolina brings unity to the ticket with Trump on issues like abortion, tax cuts, and immigration. As far as I know, there are no skeletons in his closet. And speaking of closets, that rumor that he is a closeted homosexual will only work in his favor. If the Democrats, who pander to the LGBTQ plus community, really want to make a candidate's sexuality an issue, I could see that failing spectacularly. Number 6, Elise Stefanik. New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik makes the list as a sleeper pick. First, let's look at her positives. Elise Stefanik is a woman. Just like a candidate's race shouldn't matter, neither should their gender. And yet it does. Stefanik could offer a contrast to the typical Republican ticket of old white men. This move would give Trump a counter to Kamala Harris because the optics of a female debating Harris in October would play better than a male, in my opinion. Also in Stefanik's favor is the fact she was an ardent Trump defender after the 2020 election. The Don values loyalty, and I could see him bringing on a VP choice that has demonstrated that loyalty. Now for the negatives. Stefanik's loyalty to Trump won't play well with independent voters. It's not a stretch to say that Donald Trump is a polarizing figure, and those who embrace him wholeheartedly will have some obstacles to overcome. Lastly, you have to consider that Stefanik is a national unknown and relatively inexperienced congresswoman. Is she really qualified to be one heartbeat away from the Oval Office? I guess only time will tell. Now it's your turn. Do you think any of these candidates are a good choice? Is there someone who should be on the list that wasn't? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.